So I would like to start with asking, how many of you in the audience can draw? Raise your hand. Okay, I can see that some of you don't raise your hand, and I hope to change your opinion by the end of this talk. All children are born artists, all kids can draw, and we even follow the same pattern in our development in drawing. It's something very native to us. Also, at a young age, we understand the concept of a drawing representing something from real life. It's actually quite amazing how a 1-year-old can understand that a picture book dog is the same as a real-life living dog, even though they don't actually always look like one another. But at a very young age, we learn what features define, for example, a dog, and we get it coded with visual vocabulary. Can you still remember when you were a child and you did not hesitate to draw? You felt happy drawing and you weren't ashamed. You even got praised for your somewhat crappy drawings. But at some point, the attitudes change. Especially boys are not supported to have an artistic hobby. Only 20% of the students in schools specialized in visual arts are boys. But what is it that made you stop drawing? Are you just saying that you can't draw because you saw someone do it better than you? Or maybe something similar happened to you that happened to my grandmother. She was in her 2nd grade, and she was given a task to draw a cow. She was a city girl, so not a lot of experience on cows, right? And she took the picture to her teacher, but it happy. And my grandmother felt defeated by the feedback, and she never wanted to draw again. But actually she was clever. She had to do the assignment again, because the first cow wasn't good enough. And this time, she copied the picture through a paper from one of those big teaching boards that they used to have with pictures. And she took that to her teacher, and she got through the assignment. But what she did not get was the joy of expressing herself visually through drawing ever again in her life. So now I'm wondering, is this the only way really to draw? A lifelike, copied imitation of things. What is really knowing how to draw? Is this it? Or would you say this is knowing how to draw? Or how many of you think this is knowing how to draw? Because we all have had this type of stage of knowing how to draw. So I asked how many of you can draw. In comparison, I would like to ask you how many of you can write with pen and paper, like with your name or something. So, okay, you might not love your handwriting, but you wouldn't say you can't write, right? You're probably not the next Shakespeare, but you still keep on writing those emails and text messages without the shame. So now, if you can close your eyes just for a minute, and as we were talking about school, think of your childhood school. Can you still remember even those art classes? Or maybe you can imagine how a future school would be. Now open your eyes and be dead honest. Could you think in a format of a Word document? Probably not, and it's not because you use Google Docs, it's because we tend to think in pictures. It's no coincidence that the word imagine has the word image in it. The more abstract a thing is, then we used to think in words. But then again, if we can make something abstract to something visible and see it with our mind's eye, it gets more tangible to us. So if we think in pictures, why do we love written documents so much? We give a lot of respect to books and reports and other written documents. We think they're so smart and fancy. Of course, reading and writing skills are important. But a picture tells the same story, and it's so much faster. And the change is here. The young are more interested in other ways of communication. They use emojis and videos and pictures. And we have also gotten data out of it. We can see that in social media platforms, other things than text get noticed. Infographics, pictures, and videos get more likes and shares and draw more attention. They are more effective. For example, a tweet with a picture gets 150% more retweets. So snap a picture and tweet it. Illustrated pictures help us remember, especially when the reading skills are not that developed yet. But drawing ourselves is an even more powerful tool. Taking notes with pen and paper is far more effective than taking notes with a laptop, even though with a laptop you can take more notes. But what's more, adding a hand-drawn picture to your notes can even double the chances in remembering the content. And one of the reasons for all of this is that we digest visual information 60,000 times faster than written things or text. Our brain loves drawing. In our daily lives, we use a lot of the left side of the brain, but drawing activates also the more creative right side of the brain. And it gives us pleasure to draw. So what can we use drawing for? Even the people who think they can't draw can use drawing as a tool for learning, communicating, and thinking better. Drawing, coloring, doodling helps us relax and also focus. Maybe you can remember a long phone call with a friend when you were drawing at the same time. Would you say you weren't listening? Sadly, we have this widely spread misbelief that a person who's in a meeting, for example, and drawing at the same time is actually not really listening. I at least have gotten in trouble because of drawing in class. But actually, it's quite the opposite. Drawing is a great tool, especially for a kinesthetic learner like me. And it actually helps you from losing focus. So I hope that in the future we can be more positive about the people drawing in meetings and in class, because it's actually a great way of communicating, for example, in that meeting. Have you ever gone to a hairdresser with a picture to illustrate what kind of end result you want to achieve? So how about when you're talking about something more complex than just hair? You could draw out a schedule and show it to your child or your boss. It works for all ages. You could show a process and its goals with only one picture. And drawing out the process or an idea itself really reveals it. Is there something that you haven't thought of? Or if you can't draw it, you probably haven't understood it. Drawing is a great way to imagine and plan your future. It is very effective to dream and draw out your dreams. Like said before, it makes your visions more tangible. When you have a set vision, you can go and plan the way to achieve it. It's also a good idea to have a visual track keeper, so then the only hard part to do is go and do what you need to do to achieve your goals. So drawing can be used for a lot of things. And remember, you don't have to be an artist to do this. From communication perspective, it is irrelevant how well something is drawn. It's no Pictionary, so you always have your mouth and text to explain what your pictures mean. So there might be still some people here in the audience who are still doubting your skills in drawing. So let me prove you wrong with a short exercise. And for that, I need you to take out pens and paper, and you should have them in the bag, for example. Okay. So a lot of you guys said that you know how to write. So today we're only going to use capital letters as our building parts. So that will be made easy. And I will show you that drawing doesn't differ much from writing. And we're going to do the A, B, C for drawing. So we start with the letter A. So you can draw the letter A here, somewhere up in your papers. And then we go on and add W beneath. Then we add an L, an I, and Z, and a U. So as you can see, drawing a pencil is just another way of writing avlizu. Okay, so now we move to the letter B. So we're going to start with the B, just chilling here on its back. And we're going to add a capital I beneath, then a U, another U, and then a couple of O's, a C, and a reverse C. And this boy hasn't got an arts hobby, so he's rather serious, so let's add an I here. And then, if you like, you can go and add some more letters here and there. Okay, here we have a cowboy. So what does the cowboy need? Well, he needs a cow, of course. So we'll move to the letter C. Okay, and we're going to use many C's in this picture. So we start with the medium-sized C. And we go on and we add a small kind of tilted C here above. Then a small M. Like a reverse tilted C here, then a big reverse C beneath, then a W, a U, a E that is kind of upside down, and yeah, a W. Here we can add an S. And one more C here in the front, a couple of dots here and there, and then you can add some O's to color them later. So here we have the ABC for drawing. Here we have all in one picture. We can add one more here. Couple of O's and U's. And as you can see now, the boy is happy because he just realized something, that he can draw, and so can you.